If you have a dream of travel, but it seems like it's completely out of your reach and really only for rich people or influencers, you're wrong. There is plenty of opportunity for you to be able to travel on a dime without having to completely give up all of life's comforts. In this video, I'm going to show you how I've been able to travel for really cheap, sometimes even free. I'm going to talk about 6 things that were absolutely imperative for me to start doing in order to travel for cheap. The first thing that I want to talk about is cheap flights. Let's get that out of the way. There are tons of tips out there, tons of apps, tons of websites, and yet a lot of people still don't know how to maximize cheap airlines, cheap airfare. So one of the things that I do, and I actually have an article that has like over 25 tips. So I'm going to just share one of the biggest ones that I have done since like 2012. There's a website called fly.com that they have a list of today's deals, and all you do is put in your airport or airports that you're near, and it will tell you what the cheapest flights are for the next 6 months. I travel based on what's cheap. I'm based here in the States on the East Coast. I fly out of New York. I fly out of Philly. I've even taken a Chinatown bus up to Boston and have flown out of Boston because it was that much cheaper. So if you are willing to make these moves and sacrifices, you can get flights under $500. And honestly, my preference is under $300. I'm going to put a link in the description below to the article that I wrote, and I hope that you find it useful. My second tip is to barter. I have been traveling almost full time for over 5 years, and one of the things that kicked off that journey was bartering. There are many sites. You might have heard of Woof or Workaway, but the site that I used was called HelpX. I'll put the link to that site in the description below. But with HelpX, I was able to find the barter of my dreams. Anyone who tells you that in order to barter, you have to like go to a farm, take care of wildlife, you don't. It's one of the more common ways to do it, but it's not the only way. So when I signed up for HelpX, I believe it was like a $20 yearly membership fee. I had no idea how that one little $20 would change my life. When I went on to HelpX, a lot of different opportunities came up, and it was like a luxury eco resort that was a yoga retreat. And it was in Costa Rica in the jungle. So I emailed them. A month later, I believe, someone wrote back to me and we negotiated in exchange for me working a few hours a day. I would get a bed, 3 meals a day, every day. And I lived right on the coast for almost 3 months. So point number 2 is bartering. In the description below, I'll give a few tips on websites that I recommend for that. Tip number 3 is kind of similar to this bartering, but it's a total different world. If you are into slow travel, house sitting is one of the most recommended ways to travel for cheap or free, especially if you are traveling as a couple or with friends. With a lot of house sitting, they are looking for someone to watch their pets, their plants, their home while they're away. If you are thinking of being a digital nomad, a remote worker, writing your next book, working on some music, really consider being a house sitter. The house sitting website that I use is called Trusted House Sitters. I'll put a link in the description below. I think that's actually an affiliate link, and it will give you a discount promo code if you want to get a membership. First year that I did it, I didn't get any house sit. And then when I really tried to look into what other successful house sitting accounts and profiles look like, house sitter profiles look like, I realized that they're looking for someone who's low key, who's not trying to go, who can really be there for their pets, their family. And so I changed my profile. I got a background check, and I have been able to travel for super cheap simply because I have been available to care for someone else's pet. So that is my third tip. House sitting. Number 4 is couchsurfing. Couchsurfing is a form of free housing where there is a website where people put their home up, their couch essentially up as a listing so that they can lend it out to any traveler who's just coming through. And you know, sometimes you won't talk to them at all, and other times like you'll become friends and start hanging out with them. If you can get yourself to the destination, you can be able to couch surf for free throughout your entire time. And if you are of a backpacker style of travel, this could be a very viable solution for you. So couch surfing, I will put that link down below. The other thing, credit card points. So I love credit card points. I didn't start traveling with credit card points. I came from a background where we were like kind of poor. We didn't really have good credit, didn't have really like credit cards or good credit habits. And so it took a long time for me to get comfortable with credit and credit card points. When I did, I totally changed my travel game. Everything that I did after that really was with the intention to get points. You can go grocery shopping, you can shop online, you can pay your bills and receive points for those purchases. There is such a comprehensive system out there of just finding points for every dollar that you spend and multiplying that, and then booking trips, not just flights, but hotels, booking those trips with points and booking them through a portal that allows you to, in a sense, get that trip for even cheaper and get rewarded. So if you subscribe to this channel, I will be posting another video about the credit cards that I love and use, the way that I get points the most, the way that I use those points, and how I'm able to maximize the value of those points for super cheap travel. The 6th tip that I want to tell you about is partnerships. Even before I started traveling full time, I had work where I would be the first one to volunteer to go out for a training and make sure that training was booked on a Thursday so I could extend my stay and stay through the weekend. Because I went through a partnership, because I went through a company, my flights were paid for. Even if you are not a blogger or a corporate traveler, sometimes you can just partner with a hotel or a company or an Airbnb or a tour simply with your skill. So if you have the possibility to create some form of business with your skills, you could be able to not only barter through a partnership, but also possibly be paid through a partnership. So I just wanted to show you those tips and tools that get me traveling for cheap, get me traveling long term without making me broke. I hope that you found this really useful. I hope you felt inspired by the footage from the travels, because it really can be life-changing. If you like this video, please subscribe below. There will be more tips and tricks and tons of travel inspiration and guides as well. Thank you for watching, and talk to you soon.